What are you doing? When you just mopped and your wine is on the other side. So Priscilla's got a picture of our clean kitchen and her hand reaching out for a glass of wine.
Sad.
How much that glass of wine cost?
What do you mean? How much did the glass of wine cost?
Just kidding, because this podcast is all about, let's talk about money.
Oh, so much strange.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I forgot the intro. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. Look at Danny. What? I just pulled up his IG. Danny Beefcake.
Danny Beefcake. Yeah, he's swole.
Dude, he is like ready to compete right
Tahoe
now.
competition is next weekend for Danny Broadhurst.
Is that 13th?
Body
16th?
Spartan brand ambassador. It's just not the day. All right, everybody. Hi, and welcome to the official Body Spartan podcast. My name is Gabe Tuft. I am the founder of Body Spartan. I am joined by the wonderful, lovely, delicious IG surfing.
IG posting. Priscilla.
Co-founder of Body Spartan. Did you forget your lines?
No, I didn't forget my lines, but it was podcast posting Priscilla.
Oh, it was a bunch of alliteration.
Polly Prissy Pants. First lady of Body Spartan, Priscilla Tuft. That was so game show. I'm going to start doing that from now on.
Super game show. Well, what's up, guys? We are here tonight. We're going to talk about money and what the actual cost of getting fit is. And, you know, even more.
Oh, my gosh. Can I just say something right now?
You're going to just interrupt me?
Completely. Okay. We're talking about money, and we are reallocating family funds because medical bills are life right now.
Yeah, you know, you have a $300,000 open heart surgery. Things change.
Did you? Oh, you said 300,000. I thought you said $3,000. I'm like, hardly. Yeah, it was costly. So guess what had to go?
What had to go?
The Merry Maid.
Oh yeah, the maids are gone.
She'd come out once a month, and like literally I wanted to make out with her because I loved her so incredibly much. And I'm just like, you are pretty much heaven. So today,
pretty much,
I just tried to do the floors and I suck at them. They just don't look like hers. Like seriously, like I spent 45 minutes on the floors. And it was just the kitchen floors, right? I'm like, I'm going to be so meticulous. Like, watch me Merry Maid, jerks. Like, I will Merry Maid so hard on these floors.
Merry Maid harder than me. I dare you.
Right?
Mary Maid harder than me.
So I finish, and then I'm like, yeah. And I do that little, what do you call this thing? When you go be like, booyah. Hey, pay attention to me.
I'm watching the levels because my ears are hurting.
What is this called? Like when you put your hands like in a V.
Yeah, the DX suck it thing?
I was all, yeah. And I did my victory dance and I looked across and I was like, oh no, the floors are all wet. And my wine is on the other side. Like I was going to reward myself with a glass of wine and like couldn't even do that. You're not even paying attention to this whole entire podcast.
Okay, here's the thing. Before we started,
you're doing all these level things.
Yeah,
like
because before we started,
buttons.
I said very specifically, hey, Priscilla, talk in the mic like you're going to talk on the podcast.
You have one job. Your job is to laugh with me. And that's what we do on the podcast. And that's why everybody loves it. But right now, I'm saying really funny stuff. And you're over there moving buttons. And everyone's like, why is he moving buttons? Why is he not laughing at her? Because she's hilarious. And I just talked about the wine. And now that I'm done with talking about the wine, I will tell you, I sat there and I watched those floors dry. And guess what?
What? Do tell.
Those floors look really crappy because
they do. I actually looked at them. They look like
shit.
Dude,
what the heck? I have 45 minutes in the kitchen, like working on those floors. And they got these like, okay, so here's the thing. Like, stick to what you're good at because like I can recover $2,200 in funds as Body Spartan account Maximus. As
the official CPA of our business, you're our financial
right?
or CFO.
I'll bite your face.
Actually, what you really are is the CFO, the Chief Financial Officer.
Yeah, and I'll bite your face if you fight me.
The Body Spartan accountant Maximus. What even is that?
I was just trying to be fun or whatever. But I can do that. But then I suck at floors. Like I can vacuum. I really like doing things besides the floors. Like I really like doing.
You can vacuum.
Floors and windows. I can, but it takes so long. It's like I'm better at other stuff.
Well, so am I. But I vacuum.
But I really excel more in other areas than floors. Yeah. What I want to say is I hate floors, but I'm trying to be positive and be like, I'm better at other things, like accounting, like working out and getting buff and staying lean and making videos and stuff. But when it comes to floors, Merry Maid.
Floors just aren't your jam.
Yeah. And Mary, wherever you are, I want you to hear that I love you and I miss you and I want you to come back to me.
Her name was not Mary.
No, well,
What was her name?
Mary.
No, what was the maid's name that you liked so much?
Glorietta.
Glorietta. There you go.
But Mary made.
I get it.
I
but it's not like Mary. It's Merry.
There's a whole fleet
happy,
of them.
smiley. Put two fingers on the side of your cheeks and push them out to make a big fat smile.
They're probably really, really glad that they don't have to work here anymore because legit, I would do group huddles and hugs. And I would give them all like flowers and they'd be like, oh, no, please
and meal
don't
prep?
touch
You
me.
give them the meal prep in the freezer?
I give them meal prep. And I would just be like, thank you. And sometimes with tears, I would thank them.
Just give away the trifecta meals. Well, thanks.
I would like legit cry because I love them like sometimes. And I'm like, you have no idea like what a difference you make in my life. And they're like, oh, you scare me, Mrs. Tuft. Please don't touch me.
Please don't hug me as much as you are. It hurts.
Yeah. You're squeezing too tight.
It's like Consuelo
Like
from Family Guy.
legit, like I love this one. Like one in particular so much. I would like get her daughter like clothes and stuff and like send her home. Anyways, I miss you. If you're listening, Mary, Glorietta, baby Jesus, I want my floor keepers back. Okay, so we're talking about money today.
Well, the podcast is about money, and that's the whole thing. Like the idea is that we are hearing a lot, previously we heard a lot. Not so much now because the All Access Pass is actually very affordable. It's $19.99 a month, but you get a 14-day free trial, and it gives you access to every single one of our Body Spartan programs, all the shredding programs.
And if anybody of you wants to do my floors for $19.95 a month, then I will give it to you for free.
Okay. I'm not going to finish the sentence, I swear. I'm trying to plug the All Access Pass
I'm trying to talk about floors. He's so over me right now.
It's so frustrating. God. All she cares about is floors. You are cute. That's the only big...
so cute. And so good at chess. And she's fun.
We have been playing chess.
She's fun, you fools.
How many guys out there play chess? Because I've played chess since I was about 12 years old with my dad.
But
maybe
weren't
10.
we first talking about the All Access Pass?
Well, apparently it doesn't matter.
No, it's everything.
None of it matters.
No, it's life. No, floors are life. And no, Merry Maids are life. And after Merry Maids comes the All Access Pass. And really, truly, that has changed a lot of your life. And you have forced us into group hugs as well.
The reason that the All Access Pass has changed our life is because Body Spartan pivoted as a company. Like, we were in a saturated fitness market where everybody and their mom has an ebook on keto and all this stuff, even though we were the original internet keto program. And you can go look that up. Like, we are the original.
We call that a case of the first dosis.
First dosis?
Like ketosis, first dosis. We have a case of first dosis. And if you don't, then maybe you should get it. I don't know.
First to the key, first to the egg.
Not the worst.
You wouldn't get that. That's a Ready Player One.
I totally.
That's
what
a movie
even
thing.
is Ready Player One?
Never mind. It's a thing. It's a really phenomenal movie.
Do they do floors? No.
No, there are no floors done in Ready Player One.
Windows?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No. Just
okay.
no.
Sorry.
My God.
Sorry. Okay.
The reason that the All Access Pass has changed our lives, and one of the reasons that we're doing this podcast,
it's because we work twice as hard.
Jesus fucking tap dancing Christ. Oh my God. Can I get a fucking sentence out, please? I swear half the listeners are probably turning off their phone right now. They're like, oh my God.
No, they're making sure baby Jesus isn't stealing their underpants.
Oh my God. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to try to get through this podcast. We have 5 pages of notes in case you went through these before we started this, right?
I did.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. As in like you thumb through it at about 8,000 miles an hour. And like, oh, Gabe will talk about all the big points. I'll just make funny jokes about floors and windows. And I know, Mr. Superman, no asshole.
You can't be derogatory on the podcast.
I'm not being derogatory. I'm doing a Consuelo from Family Guy. That's not derogatory.
All nationalities welcome and loved.
Of course. No. All right. So the point is, we decided to do something totally different. Everybody's charging an asinine amount of money. Our programs were $100 a pop, and nobody's got programs like we do. Like, they all sell ebooks and shit. Nobody has programs like us. We've got a custom dashboard that pops out your macros for you. We've got instructional videos, and everything's all nicely organized. We show you how much body weight you've gained every week and your body fat loss, and it's all charted and graphed. I mean, the fucking dashboard's amazing. And I just looked at that and I was like, you know what? I see what's happening. I see that we need to offer people more value at a better price. So let's wrap every single one of our fucking programs into a monthly affordable subscription, which is what we did. And we took a major revenue hit. So imagine, we're selling programs at $100 a pop, and then all of a sudden we're getting people that are basically signing up for a 14-day free trial. Some of them keeping it. I mean, most people keep it. But then we go down to $19.99 a month. And so that was a pretty hard hit for us. So we, this is life. And what's our rule, Priscilla, about the podcast? The one rule we have.
That we're always completely, painstakingly honest.
Totally transparent.
Which is why I'm whining about Glorietta.
We're totally transparent. And so, guys, we don't live in a big, glorious 5,000 square foot home. And we had maids for 2 years because we thought that it was something that we needed. And, well, we had to tighten the reins. We tightened the reins on that. We got rid of the Rover. What else? I mean, we've tightened. We don't eat out anymore. There's a lot of things. We're going to talk about that on the podcast. But it's the reason is because the company is pivoting. And we're basically rebuilding our entire customer base from the ground up. And that's a hit. That's a revenue hit for us. And it made me think, you know what? If we have to be this tight right now, I mean, the company's doing great. We're rising up. We're coming back. We're making a huge innovation. But if we're this tight, I'm just going, you know what? I bet people that are questioning, because I get this on the daily. I see it. They're like, man, I don't know if I can afford the $19.99 a month. I'm just like, dude, of course you can. Of course you can. And that's what this is about. I mean, this podcast is about basically what does it cost to get fit? And then I got 3 myths that I want to talk to you guys about later on. 3 myths about the cost of being fit. Should we just dive into this? We usually talk about things and stuff, really, and everybody laughs, but I'm just like,
something
let's get down
really
to fucking
powerful,
business.
kind of came through for me when you were talking about that. You guys, people are not successful because they are afraid of the discomfort that it takes to frickin' get there. Like, I'm joking about Glorietta. I mean, I miss Merry Maids, not gonna lie, but just saying, I realize that this is temporary discomfort so that we can love on our fans and create such brand loyalty and help people succeed at an affordable price. What are you willing to sacrifice? Are you willing to get uncomfortable because you don't get your cheeseburgers every day at lunch, or you don't get your Starbucks in the morning, or maybe you cancel Netflix and jump on a treadmill?
Well, that's really what this whole thing's about. It's
can you get uncomfortable to be successful?
Well, and it's what do you want to be successful with? If it's a fitness program or getting into shape or getting the best shape of your life, or maybe not the best shape of your life, I'd hope to God that you want to get in the best shape of your life, because the rewards are amazing, emotionally, physically, the whole 9 yards. But what it boils down to is just time. It's prioritizing time, and it's adjustment of your other priorities.
And it is definitely about allocating funds too, because $19.99, I mean, obviously that's nothing. However, that is something. What are you willing to sacrifice? How are you willing to get uncomfortable in order to reap the benefits? Because let me tell you, like when this is, oh gosh, we're getting real right now, you guys. I gained some weight for a second, like a hot second. I gained some weight. You know why?
There was
because there was a
little junk in the trunk.
I was in, and this is a complete and total utter excuse. I was eating a lot of hospital food. Gabe and I lived in the hospital for a week, but before that, I was in and out of ER, poor sleep, up all hours of the night, dealing with heart-related stuff.
Giant man, baby.
And then I felt, not even, you were dealing with real stuff. But even though I was taking care of myself, so I thought, even though I felt seriously grounded, I was having a cortisol release as well because of the stress. And I didn't realize all these things were piling up. And I needed to take action to lose that weight. I mean, probably you guys would look at the weight and be like, oh, whatever, that's not even a big deal. But it was a big deal to me because I stand in front of my, social media following. I've got everybody looking to me being like, oh, aren't you perfect always? But I had to be in that position to remember how much it sucks to be in a body that does not match your soul, To be in a body that makes you feel ashamed to get dressed and go out and face the world. To be in a body where you're like, nothing fits. And you consider, ooh, am I going to buy clothes so that I fit in clothes that feel nice or hide my body weight? Or am I going to take massive action and do whatever it takes to get into the body that my soul deserves and to feel good? That's what this is about, prioritizing, like Gabe said.
Well, it's a re-examination of what you're already doing and how to make getting in the best shape of your life fit your it's really got to fit your income. I mean, that's the whole idea. We're talking about costs here. What's that?
It's definitely got to fit the budget.
And that's the point.
And it's a freaking choice.
Well,
right?
this whole thing, and we're looking at it right now, and I'm like, okay, you know what? I got to pay for my gym membership. We had to tighten the reins. I'm going, okay, the rest of the world is, may not be in the exact same financial position we are in. They may be in a better one, they may be in a worse one, but let's look at this. I mean, right now, okay, guys, do this. I want you to stop whatever you're doing, and I want you to take note of a few things. Usually I have you guys pull out your pen and your paper or your iPhone or your iPad or Android, if you're actually using Android. Dun, dun, dun. Even Sean switched to an iPhone. He did. But I'd have you take some notes. And what I want you to do is I want you to take note of a few things. And I want you to really just think about this. And we'll talk about them later. But what kind of car are you driving? Like if you're in a car right now, what kind of car are you driving? Think about the clothes that you're wearing. Where did you get them?
How many holes do they have?
Yeah. Do they have as many holes as me? Are they? Just think about it and just take note. I don't want you to feel good or bad, or I just want you to just take note. You're not supposed to feel clothes. A certain way about them. You're not supposed to feel a certain way about them. Okay? I want you to take note of your home, and I want you to take note of your phone. And we'll revisit this later. Now, what did you want to say about my clothes? You had to just blurt it out.
Well, okay, so I mean, in these like tiny white cutoff shorts.
Every time you cut me off, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just Stevie Nicks.
Nobody's laughing.
I'm laughing.
You're laughing,
inside.
and none of us are laughing. We think it's awkward. So I'm in these like tiny white cutoff shorts, looking good, feeling good, back in my body, feeling awesome. Sit down at the dinner table, give me this beautiful, beautiful dinner with like all these luscious, gorgeous vegetables.
I barbecued. I came back from a 40-minute walk.
Ooh, tell them how you barbecue the vegetables.
Okay, we'll get to your story in a second. I am proud of myself. Tomorrow, which is Friday the 8th, so just so you guys know when we actually tape this, is my 1-month anniversary of my surgery. Officially
30 days.
1 month from my surgery. To where I could not... Getting up out of a chair or out of a bed was a struggle for me.
Yeah, it was hardcore.
Winded, getting up 8 stairs. To today, I did a 40-minute walk with the dog, and I feel great.
But I came home. Not so much.
The dog, I drug her the last 100 yards. She is currently bleeding profusely everywhere. Missing fur. Just like, come on, let's go. But I came home and I'm like, hey, I'll make dinner. So I've been barbecuing a lot lately, and I made us some really lean hamburgers. I just took some 80% ground beef, put a little bit of Lowry seasoning salt, some garlic salt, and then a little bit of lemon and pepper. And I basically just kind of mushed that all up and make patties out of it. And then I squish them down on the barbecue as I start cooking so that all the fat drains out. But I've got one of those little, what do you call them? Like a vegetable
basket.
Yeah, vegetable basket for the barbecue. And tonight I cut up a bunch of red.
It's like a metal vegetable basket. Please do not put a like wicker basket on the barbecue and say the Body Spartan told you to do that, because that would be a fail. It would be a big fail.
Does that really need to be said?
No, I feel like if you say basket and you say vegetable basket, I instantly think of wicker basket, and I imagine terrible, terrible things catching on fire and things happening.
I mean, it is a barbecue.
Let's just not do that. Don't do that.
If you were thinking of a wicker basket on a barbecue, you can just turn
Post
the podcast.
Below.
You can just turn the podcast off right now. I don't got time for that shit. I'm just sorry.
I thought of that. Should I turn the podcast
You
off?
can leave.
Goodbye.
So I cut up some red bell peppers, a little bit of broccoli, some green beans, and I was going to cut up some onion, but we were out, and basically I just kind of toss everything in some olive oil, cook the burgers for about 5 minutes, and then I dump all the veggies in the veggie basket, and then I add some tomatoes to it. And I let them cook for about 10 minutes, stirring them. Priscilla, being the vegetarian she is, she's having just straight up vegetables.
We don't call names here. but I just happen to enjoy vegetables.
Oh my God, will you just get over the fucking labels?
No labels.
Being a vegetarian, admit it, you're a vegetarian. You eat vegetables and no meat. And occasionally an egg. You're a vegetarian.
I choose vegetables.
So Priscilla, not eating meat.
We don't call names.
Jesus Christ, you're such a snowflake.
Pretty much.
Anyway.
How is that funny?
It's funny to me, and I guarantee there are thousands of people on the other end that are chuckling.
Nobody
Mostly
is
guys.
laughing.
Every dude
and
that's
your
listening
little
to this.
Hulk figurine is staring at you like.
It's not a Hulk figurine. That is a oh God, what's his name from He-Man? Jeez.
Oh, it's a He-Man figurine.
Was it Man-E-Face? No, it's I don't remember.
I thought it was the Hulk.
It's the man guy. No, he's from...
We should get out your action figure and see who's bigger, him or you.
It's me. It's a full-size action figure from
All right,
yes.
then the Hulk, He-Man, the
Hulk is eating some hummus.
He-Man eating hummus.
Are you going to tell this story? So I serve her up a bunch of veggies, and
he serves himself up a bunch of veggies, and then he bites into a tomato, and it goes flying.
Didn't
across
bite.
the
I
table.
stabbed it with their little cherry tomatoes.
He stabbed it violently
and I
viciously.
just stabbed it with the fork, trying to be
and
quick.
the juice came flying at my beautiful white.
It had an orgasm.
Yes, little shorts, and so now I have all sorts of like tomato blood on me. I just think about what you're wearing. That's all Gabe was saying. What are you wearing? What's your phone? What kind of car do you drive?
Hopefully you guys took notes. Oh my God.
We digress.
We're on.
Oh my gosh.
It's taking a fucking dive.
Help. Okay. We should talk about.
Think about the car you're
adjusting.
driving, the clothes you're wearing, your home or
Right.
your apartment, whatever you're living in, a condo.
Right.
I want you to think about your phone. We're going to revisit that later. And now what I want to do is I want to talk about adjusting priorities. And it starts with what we are thinking that we need. This is how you adjust your priorities. And literally this is kind of mind-blowing when you think about it. The amount of time spent on social media, which we have discussed on previous podcasts, is insane. For all you people that have the new iPhone iOS and you have that screen time, I highly encourage you to turn that on and start getting a daily or weekly report of the average amount of time that you spend on social media. How specific do I need to be?
Okay, so tell me how to turn that screen time thingy on.
Oh, well, I've done it before. Do I have to do it? Okay, so go to the...
I would want
I mean, how hard is it to hit Google?
Okay, so you go to Google.
Oh, my God. Is that what you're going to go to Google right now?
Dude, this is a real thing. You're being bratty.
I'm not being bratty. I don't know. Instead of screen time, it's around. I don't know.
Oh, you said go to Google and figure it out.
Yeah, well, go to Google, type iPhone screen time, and figure it out.
Okay,
It's
so
around. Oh, here it is.
iPhone
It's just under settings and screen time.
time.
It's there. It's that easy.
Okay, so you go to settings.
And then scroll down till you see screen time. It's like a little hourglass looking thing. It's purplish with the
Let's
white.
see how long it takes a real user to have the experience. I see podcasts, which all of you better have that. But as far as like it's under settings?
It's under settings, and it's on the second group. You got airplane mode, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, cellular, personal hotspot. And after that, you've got 4 more little group.
I have 3.
Well, you should have screen time.
Notifications, control set. Can I see
You
yours?
are also about 400 iOS updates behind. That's the problem.
Hey, everybody raise your hand if you think that Gabe is judging.
Okay, hang on. Give me your phone for a sec. Give me both phones.
You little judgy pants.
Give me my phone back. I'm going to do something really quick.
I can't give you my phone because I have top secret, awesome stuff on
You
this
don't have
thing.
any top secret shit.
I don't have
Let me see what software version you're on. Okay, so I'm going to just blow this out of the water real quick.
I would like to know how many of you people
Software
appreciate
update.
my question, because that is
About
genuine question. I'd be like, what do you mean set a screensaver thingy? So basically what Gabe's saying is that you can monitor how much time you spend on the socials. On the socials media.
So just for everybody's knowledge, we are currently on software version 12.3.1. Priscilla is back on version 11.3.1.
What is yours?
I'm 12.3. I mean, you're like 10 or 12 updates behind.
Would you like to know why? Because my my USB port doesn't work in my computer.
Oh, and so you can't plug it into the laptop, or you couldn't plug it into my computer and
Use
update
your
your phone?
resources, people.
Seriously, like what other excuse do you need? I mean, that's a great example of people just going, "Oh, I can't because," and then not finding a solution. And that is one of the things that people do. I can't lose weight. I can't lose weight. I can't get on a program because, and then that's just the end all. Nope, I can't afford it. That's the end all. Well, guess what? You can fucking afford it. And here's the thing. This whole thing was about screen time, and it was about understanding how much time we spend on social media. And if you look at the screen time, you're going to be shocked at how much time you spend on your phone and then how much time you spend on social media. And the point is that social media is basically mind-fucking everybody. We see people living fake lives and we want it. We got all these guys that are calling themselves, and girls that are calling themselves influencers. They rent the big house for their ads, or they rent the fancy car, or they fake it till they make it kind of deal. And it's like, look, we're looking at this shit thinking, oh my God, we got to have this because people are fucking faking it and we want it. And then what we do is we get things that are outside of our cost of living. So we go, oh God, I need that BMW or the Mercedes. I got to have it. But I'm still living in a 1-bedroom studio apartment in LA or wherever you are. And it's like, I need the nice car because you give a shit about what other people think about you that you don't even know. People you give a shit. You care what other people think about you that you have no idea who they are. You'll never say hi to them. It's all for social media. It's all for you to feel good. People that buy and drive Mercedes and Beamers. How many people out there are driving them? I'd be so curious.
Can I please?
What?
Interject.
What?
You and I love driving Lamborghinis, and
Absolutely.
that is like our delicious. Like, I mean, I will not lie, McLaren's kind of my deal.
Yeah,
a little bit, but it's not so that people will see me in it. It's because it's fast and really, really fun.
Right, but do we
and
own
I like
one?
to race you.
Do we currently own our house that we live in?
We do not.
We rent our house. Is there a Lamborghini in my garage?
No.
Was there a point in time with Body Spartan we were renting this house and I could have actually gone out and bought one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easily.
Did I? No, because it was outside I didn't have my priorities. I'm sorry. I had my priorities straight.
It's like we'll go play on the weekend with the cars that we can afford, but we're going to take the money and put it back into the business anyways.
But not now is what I'm getting at. Like I'm not going to be renting Lamborghinis for a while. We've got a lot of work to do with the business to get it back to where it needs to be before we can start taking money out and enjoying the way that when I say enjoying, just living a different lifestyle. The point is that
the way that
we're seeing things on a daily basis. We consume so much media. And by we, I mean everybody listening. There's not a single person out here that's listening to this podcast that isn't guilty of this. It's part
actually guilty of what?
Of consuming the mass amount of media that's out there. It's not guilty. It's just it happens.
May I please use myself as an example?
Okay.
I do not. And you can call me out.
So, well, you don't have screen time, so I can't call you out.
I do not have screen time.
But
I will
what
update
your phone tonight for you, so there's no more excuse. Then we'll revisit this because
let's revisit this.
You would be shocked at how much time you spend on your phone. I guarantee you, like when you see the results, you're like, oh.
Is this all social media or is this like websites or
everything? YouTube. I mean, it's the whole 9 yards.
Oh, see, YouTube, I spend hours because I'm constantly learning. When I'm doing
YouTube is a form of social media.
When I'm doing a crappy job on my kitchen, you better believe I'm listening to something that's inspiring me.
Well, what I'm getting at is
my
that
kitchen floors. When I'm washing my floors crappily, you better believe I'm being inspired.
Most of us are
listening to something.
Most of America is living outside their budget. They're living beyond their means. They're not getting their priorities straight. I mean, literally, I think Gary Vee said this the other day. I mean, he was something about, you got the 2 extra bedrooms in your house that you'll never use. You're paying for the 2 extra bedrooms in your house that you'll never use just because you want the extra space, the big house. So that's extra mortgage, extra rent. Or you got a studio apartment and you drive a Lexus or a Beamer or that big diesel, F-250, F-350, or if you're a Dodge guy, whatever, I don't care what kind of truck it is. And you spend money on things, and by you, I mean most of America spends money on things that are absolutely not necessary to our survival.
Can I?
And it's simply because it's simply because we care about what other people think.
Not necessarily. Sometimes it's a motorcycle. Sometimes it's a hobby. Something that is outside of the means.
Okay, well, let's revisit that if you really want to call me out because you're just like, oh, the motorcycle. And here's why, because Priscilla goes, the motorcycle is the most expensive thing that we have next to our rent.
It is.
Racing is the most expensive thing that we have.
True.
Next to our rent. The motorcycle insurance was fucking ridiculous. It's because I went down and I claimed it one time.
But right now, it's sitting. It's waiting.
So why do I have the motorcycle? Why did I originally get it?
It's your form of meditation.
It's
sanity for our lives.
Let's look at the 6 human needs. And let's take a moment. Let's look at the 6 human needs. It fulfills a lot of my human needs.
Big. All of them.
Massive amounts.
All of them.
When I got it, it was mostly because I dreamt about it ever since I was a kid, and I had this thing for motorcycles. I don't know why, but when I bought the Harley, when I bought the Harley.
Can I say something? The only reason he keeps me around.
Just so you guys know, she's raising her hand, and we're the only 2 people in the room.
Shut up. Hulk's in the room. Or what is his name?
I don't remember his name. I'm gonna look it up. Go ahead.
I don't know.
So the only reason I keep you around is what?
After the motorcycle, you mean?
You said, you raised your hand like, the only reason he keeps me around, and then you stopped.
Because the motorcycle can't get through the door and I'm better in bed.
That is true.
That's it.
That's crazy. Or else I'd be sleeping with the bike. And it's He-Man Man-at-Arms. That was his name.
Man-at-Arms?
Man-at-Arms.
Ooh, what does that mean? Man-at-Arms?
Man-at-Arms.
That sounds like some sort of disease. Man-at-Arms.
A man-at-arms is somebody that...
he's got man-at-arms.
I don't even know why I even tried
This is a real problem. He's living outside of his means and he's got man-at-arms.
A man-at-arms is like
Man-at-arms.
the sergeant-at-arms, where basically you're the one in charge of all the weapons.
No, it's a disease. Man-at-arms.
It's got the HIV. Okay, so let's look at the motorcycle. Originally, it was for what? Significance. And just so, let's revisit this, because this is really important for everybody.
Significance?
Think about this. The 6 human needs. Jim Rohn developed these.
No, it wasn't significant. You got the bike. Okay. I disagree with that.
Okay, hang on.
Okay.
Hold your fucking horses. Just wait.
Man-at-Arms and I are objecting.
The 6 human needs. And these are basically the needs that every person has. And there are needs of the spirit, and there's also needs of
the personality.
And so we have certainty, we have uncertainty, we have significance, we have love in the human connection, we have growth, and then we have contribution. And things like certainty, and of course, guys, some of you know these very well, so I apologize for repeating myself. But for those people that are listening that are not familiar with the 6 human needs,
these are life.
Certainty would be things like you come home, you have a roof over your head. You know that you're getting a salary. You know that your husband, wife, family, whatever, boyfriend, girlfriend, roommate will be there waiting for you to say hi to you, and there'll be food in the fridge. Those are things that give you certainty in life. Now,
uncertainty, may I please? It's like when you walk in the door and she's standing there and she's like, "Hey, baby, tonight, let's play chess." And you're like, "Oh, it's so different than what I do the other nights."
That's uncertainty.
Yes, I want to play chess.
Uncertainty is literally what it's uncertainty in your life. Like, it's also variety. So forms of variety.
So pop for that.
I did pop for it, but I'm trying to desperately explain these things to the people that are listening.
Okay.
To the fans that are listening.
They don't care. They're just waiting to laugh about stuff.
Okay.
So really, like flying down the freeway. That's why I feel like. Okay, wait.
We can talk about that in a second. We need to explain these things: certainty, uncertainty,
variety.
Significance. Now, significance is defined. Everybody wants to be significant in one way, shape, or form, and there are ways to be significant that are positive, and there are ways to be significant that are negative. So, a positive way to get significance would be you're itching to talk, so just spit it out.
I want to say the other one.
So, positive way to get significance would be to make a change in somebody's life.
Aww,
that would be a way to feel significant. Like, I helped this person for the better. Yeah. Or maybe you give, you see a homeless person, you go buy them a meal. That you feel significant because you made a change in that person's life.
And you contributed. So that kind of wraps 2 into 1. You're giving
just
back.
So far ahead of the game right now.
Yeah. But like a negative way is like you walk into the house and you're like, "I drive a Dodge Stratus." Everybody better
Saturday Night Live
stop
skit with Will Ferrell.
Because I drive a Dodge Stratus. You will obey what I say. And so you feel significant.
Parents that yell at their kids, or
or
the guy at the bar that's super loud and annoying, or picks a fight because he needs to feel significant.
Or like me talking over Gabe. I just want to be significant, guys.
Or what do females do when they try to be significant in a negative way?
Oh, they
in a public setting.
They gossip about other females.
There you go. So this is a way to feel significant. Now,
try to control their husbands.
Love in the human connection. Number 4, everybody needs the human connection. You see people walking down the street that have been homeless for years. They're talking to themselves because they're just desperate for the human connection. It can be in the form of sex, it can be the form of
That
touch,
would be
conversation, or just existing with somebody by your side so that you can talk to them. And that could be social outings. It could be going to seminars. It could be at the gym, talking to your friends, lifting with your buddies. That's the human connection. Like, we all need that. And there are just, people get that in many, many different ways. And there's no right way or wrong way, but there are, again, positive and negative ways to get that.
And by the way, any of you sweet, precious lovers, we love you so much. If you are going through an addiction, if you're struggling with alcoholism, drug use, drug abuse of any kind, studies have shown that it is because of the lack of human connection. So get in our freaking vortex. Let us hug you. Get connected to our community because we love you guys. Like, get connected.
So 4
very vital
is so we had certainty, uncertainty, significance, love and human connection. 5 is growth and progress. So everybody needs to progress in their life, and this can be through continued education. It can be just
YouTube while you're crappily mopping the floors.
Anything that makes you feel like anything that makes you feel like you're progressing and making progress. I bought the house that I've been saving for 10 years for. That's progress. Or I've hit this different level of my spiritual journey, and I've meditated now for an hour a day. That was my goal, so I'm progressing. Or I'm learning about the 6 human needs here on the Body Spartan podcast. Imagine that, and that's changing my life. That's progress. Or changing your physique, coming from being obese and overweight your entire life to being ripped and shredded, and all of a sudden having some attention and feeling confident. That means that's progress.
And did we talk about contribution? You want to circle back around to that?
Contribution is the last one, when contribution is basically giving back. And then most people, this is kind of the last thing that they end up doing, because you have to have all your ducks in a row. Basically, think of the 6 human needs as a pyramid.
Get them all in a row.
You can't really contribute. You can't really give back if you don't have all your other 6 human needs met and fulfilled. And the way that Jim Rohn describes this is basically, and actually Tony Robbins, which was Jim Rohn was Tony Robbins' mentor. The way he says this is that if you fulfill any one of these human needs at any given time, it's temporary fulfillment. It's not true, long-lasting fulfillment. It's temporary fulfillment. That's why people do it, like in the bar where the guy's yelling and screaming and like trying to be like, "Rah, my motherfucker, get the fuck out of my face, give me that fucking drink." He's significant for a moment, but it's temporary. When he walks out of there and he goes home, well, guess what? By himself, there's nobody to yell and scream at, and nobody's watching him. Now, any 3, you have what we call a raving fan. Any 4 of the human needs that are met, you have an addict. And if you fulfill all 6 of the human needs, then you've got a truly fulfilled and happy life. So that's kind of the nuts and bolts of that. Now, moving back to the motorcycle.
And by the way, apply this to your job, apply this to your marriage, apply this to your relationship with your kid. The 6 human needs must be met in each of these relationships and overall in every aspect of your life.
Probably one of the biggest things that we've gone over it many times.
And
I don't mind going over
your heads. We're so sorry.
I don't mind going over it again because it's so important. But let's talk about the motorcycle. When I bought it, it was really for significance, to make me feel good.
Really? I feel like it was for variety and adventure. You were craving something just different.
Well, you know what? Looking at it, actually, I was. It was definitely for uncertainty and variety.
You wanted an escape. Like, you're like, it's boring. We live in a cow town. In fact, right now we smell poop, because they are pooping the fields right now. Because that's what grows grapes.
Spreading manure in the fields.
And we live in wine country. And so there's poop in the fields and it's wafting in the room, and Gabe's not guilty. But like, he needed something different, and so he needed to get out and feel like he could just whomp on something and whomp.
But a lot of times when I'm at, it's about feeling significant.
Really?
Well, now
more than variety.
When there's a younger teenage kid in the car alongside of me, and he's got his phone out waving at me like thumbs up, and then I basically bring the front wheel up at 85 miles an hour and let him take a snap. I'm like, all right, that was pretty cool. It's like, that's significance. But for me, most of it is there's uncertainty involved. I need that uncertainty in my life. Like, when I'm on the track, when I'm on the street, you just never know what's going to happen. You're always kind of taking a risk on a bike. So there's 2 of the human needs there. There's growth, because every time I'm on the bike, I'm pushing myself a little bit harder. I'm learning. My skills are getting better.
Goal
at the track. Dude, there's so much going on right there.
PRs.
Contribution. I get a chance to give back to people that aren't as I mean, I'm always learning, so there's growth.
And
I'm always learning from other people.
Asking.
So the bike is more. It's more than just
all of
living outside of my means. It's one of those things that I feel like I'm willing to sacrifice.
Love
some
the
money
human
to,
connection, like the most incredible guys out at the track. I mean, we had we introduced you to one of the guys just like a few episodes ago.
Yeah, Uribe.
Yeah, an amazing guy. And it's just he's got that love and connection. Like he loves these guys.
Well, and then we go for rides too, and we get a chance to like go do dates on the bike. And I mean, it fulfills a ton of the human needs. But the point is that most people are living outside their you're buying shit to impress people that you don't know. And I mean, look at it this way, like, are you willing to move to an area that costs less for rent, sacrifice your big house for your money and live happily? Or are you going to keep this, stay in this area that you like with a bigger apartment or a bigger condo or a bigger house that costs you way beyond your means of living, what your income should allow you to? And you're like, I'm going to figure it out. And you start spending money on credit cards to survive and all this stuff. Are you going to do that? Are you going to downsize? Are you humble enough to downsize? Or are you going to stay in this shitty job that you have for the next 20 years because you're tied to that house or you're tied to that apartment or that lifestyle or that car?
And we understand it's so hard to downsize, you guys. Like,
it's very hard. It's humbling.
Are you willing to get uncomfortable in order to have something huge and amazing that you desperately want? Do you want to feel good? Do you want to look good? That's what fitness is about.
I mean, it applies to so much more than. And we always talk about fitness stuff because we're Body Spartan, but it's like, dude, this is life. Like, you guys.
I just went through this with my body, and I realized how much of my thought life it consumed when I couldn't squeeze into my shorts, and it was summer, and I'm like, this is uncomfortable. And I mean, you guys, seriously, like 5 pounds, and I don't fit into my shorts. But I hadn't wavered in years.
But what starts happening? If you're living outside your means, what is the easiest thing for people to do nowadays? They go and get a credit card. Right. And another credit card and another credit card. And they think that because
that is not a bank account.
They need the iPhone and they need the iPhone X and they need an iPad and then they have to have a computer that does all these specific things. And I got to have the MacBook Air and I have to have True Religion jeans and all these things because we have to look good on social media to impress people that we don't fucking know. You start burying yourself in credit card debt and then those payments accumulate and then you're stuck in your shitty job again. And what I'm getting at is, what are you willing to sacrifice? Because this is beyond just having enough money to get fit. This is, do you want to be stuck in that fucking shitty job all your life? Do you have a side hustle that you've been dreaming of that you want to go do?
And may I please? Do you want to be stuck in the body that gets stuck in the clothes? Because my butt got stuck in the shorts and I ripped my favorite shorts when I tried to squeeze those things on. I'm like, they still fit. Come on. Like, do you want to be stuck or are you willing to get uncomfortable?
Well, here's the thing. Like, I know it sucks because I've been there. I mean, we don't tell a lot of people this, but I filed for bankruptcy in 2007? Yeah. No, 2000. It was right after we moved to Florida for WWE.
2007?
It was 2008. Yeah, it was 2008. We filed for bankruptcy, dude.
So awkward. It was
a very awkward situation because we had chose to. It was one of those things where we were living right at our means.
And I want to say it's not our fault.
It was our fault.
We owned a lot of things.
If you look at our perspective now, and you truly subscribe to our perspective that we are in control of everything.
Right.
We could have made better decisions.
Thing.
What we were doing is we were trying to step up the ladder when the real estate was booming back in 2007, 2006, and the crash happened at 2008-ish. But we had bought our first condo, and then we upsized to the next condo up, which is a 2-bedroom.
And these aren't just like little condos. Like, these are like beachfront spots. Like, we had nice places in Southern California, in San Clemente. Like, the real estate is absurd. And we got one of those spots.
You could see Catalina from our porch in our condo. It was great.
But it was a great investment. It was perfect, but nobody expected the turn.
What happened, though, at the time, that was when you could do stated income. And so that's when you didn't have to like check the income. You just go, this is what I make. And the loan agents are like, yeah, no problem. And that's how we paid $0 down on our first 1-bedroom condo. We didn't even sell it before we got our second one. And we paid $0 down on our second one. And we did the 5-year ARM. So basically it's like you have 5 years or it might even been a 3-year arm. I thought it was a 5-year. It was an arm. So basically, you're going to pay all your interest up front on your mortgage, none of the principal, for 3 or 5 years, whatever it is, a 3-year arm or a 5-year arm. And then the loan adjusts and the interest rates go through the roof. So it's basically a stepping stone. If you don't sell or refinance by the time that arm adjusts, you are screwed. And the way they work is it was like, oh, you got your first mortgage, but in order to get that, you got to take a second mortgage out to pay for the, like to put the down payment on the house. So you'd have a loan for the down payment. So you got a first and a second. It was just this nightmare. And if we had made better decisions, we would have never done that. We would have wrote it out. We would have sold that first condo. We would take the money, use that as a down payment, and got a 30-year fixed loan.
We decided to rent it out to somebody who didn't pay their rent for a long time and squatted. And we're like, oh, no. And then when I went to refinance, they're like, oh, you owe $175,000 on your truck.
That's not what. Well, that was something that was messed up, yes, but that was not the reason. The reason is because we tried to fight a medical bill. And I'd cut my foot surfing or something, or maybe it was when I broke my nose surfing. I don't know what it was. But basically the hospital kept saying, you need to pay this in full. And I'm like, no, the insurance company needs to cover this. So go take it out with my insurance company. Like, well, you need to call your insurance company. And after a month of back and forth.
You guys know how this feels. You probably dealt with this. Exactly.
It was like a $60 bill. It was or maybe $100-something bill. It was something stupid. And without us knowing,
it was like $17 or something, or like $16.
Who knows?
It was dumb.
Remember, 50% of what we remember is not the truth.
Right. Exactly. So, tell that.
New scientific study. Side note: Dr. Joe Dispenza quoted a study, and basically it was a neurological study where he discovered that 50% of what we remember is not actually the truth. I'll just leave it at that. But the point is,
we will talk about that on another podcast. It's amazing.
It was some stupid small medical bill. And I just said, look, hospital, go fucking figure it out. You call my insurance company. I'm done. Bye. Well, they sent us to collections and I didn't know. So it took our nice, mid 700 credit score and it tanked it. So when we went to refinance our home, we couldn't. They would not refinance. Like, they're like, dude, your score, you've been in collections. There was a thing too where if you
like, huh?
So we missed a payment. We were late on a payment because the arm adjusted, and everything just skyrocketed out of control there. Our credit cards, they all defaulted because if you're late on any other agreement that you have with your creditors, so if you're late on your mortgage, your credit cards can adjust. There's a little tiny clause. That says your credit cards can adjust, and they did. So ours all shot up to almost, it was like 29.999%.
Oh yeah, and they were all 0%. Remember when cards could be 0%? Yeah. We went for all those, and we were like getting all of these bonuses and benefits.
And so basically, I had signed on to WWE. We moved to Florida on a whim. Basically, they're like, hey, you start next month. This is February 2008.
Are we being too personal?
No, this is
giving
great.
Too much information?
No, people they want to know the truth.
Oh my gosh,
might as well tell them the truth.
We just like expose ourselves right now.
So we're in Florida, and WWE, when you're in training, does not pay a whole lot. Most guys at that time, they were making about $500 a week. And that was their entire salary. I got lucky, and for some reason, they paid me $750 a week. So that was my entire salary, living expenses for Priscilla and I to get our butts over to Florida and to live. So it's basically enough to rent an apartment and not have any real entertainment or anything like that. It was enough to pay for the gear that I had to buy. And when I say gear, I'm talking about wrestling gear. So like the costumes that we wore, the boots I had to buy, the pads, and just all this other crap. So we had to pay for all that, and the bill collectors are calling. And finally one day I'm just like, what happens if I don't pick up the phone?
And meanwhile, we have 3 businesses back home.
Well, you closed Exclusive Fitness. I closed my business down. Let's just skip to the point. The point is, we filed for bankruptcy. It was the only way for us to get out of it. I'm just like, you know what? There's no way that I can deal with this. So we foreclosed on our condo. And we filed for bankruptcy. And
it was the hugest blessing.
Like literally, I think this year is when I finally dug myself out. It's still showing up on some of our reports, but we're at the 10-year mark this year, so it should be gone. But we've dealt with this shit, guys.
Any of you are at that point, let me just tell you, it is the hugest blessing. It was like somebody saying, you know what, all that stuff that is going haywire, just wipe it away.
Yeah, and it's not like
such complete and utter relief. So if you are at that point, please understand your life is so not over. But now what?
Well, and remember,
how do you get ahead again?
We weren't the people that just go, oh, we're going to file for bankruptcy, so let's go rack up everything on our credit card. Like we were literally balancing everything really well between the businesses, between our living expenses. We were paying things off, but we had accumulated, there was probably 30, 40,000 on credit cards and small business loans and stuff like that.
There was not that much.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, there was tons. We had the LOC, we had the line of credit on the condo too. We had taken out. There's a lot of stuff that was taken out. We were making moves. We were really making moves. But we were leveraging our assets at that time, and it was all penciling. So that was the beautiful part about it.
And what I will say is that it's not the end of the world if you're being faced with something like that. That there is life after bankruptcy. Let me tell you, you're not a loser. But now what? Now what are your next moves?
Well, the thing that it taught us was, okay, no credit. How do I live without credit cards? We cannot live beyond our means. So we have to know exactly what's coming in for revenue, for our income, and we cannot spend beyond that because we can't just go grab a credit card and say, oh, cool, let's go to dinner. Or you know what? We need a little extra cash this month, so we'll just take a credit card. We could not do that. We couldn't get a personal loan. We couldn't do anything.
Massive self-control.
But
it was wonderful. It was so good
and
for
again,
us.
I want you guys to know that we have been in this situation where it's hard to afford anything. And like I said earlier, with this pivot with Body Spartan, with the revenue being tight, slowly growing back up, the company's still, I want everybody to know the company's doing great. Like we're larger than ever before. We've had more website visits than we've ever had.
But when the business grows,
our customer
the
base,
expenses grow.
Yeah, our customer base is bigger than ever. But we're spending a lot of money on developing the app. We're spending a lot of money on new programs, and now we've pivoted. So the revenue that was coming in at $100 a pop per program is now $19.99 once a month. And it's a slow build. And so our personal, basically we sacrifice. Okay, this is going to work, and we have to make some personal sacrifices. I mean, we got rid of the Rover. We cover the rent, barely. We got rid of the maids. We got rid of Spotify. Netflix is actually getting canceled this week. Many of our other subscriptions, like you went through and you found a ton of little things that were bleeding us out. We really don't eat out anymore. Like we've gone back to full meal. We ate out so much since 2016 because we were just charging off with business stuff. Like, oh, it's a business expense. It's a business expense. It was one of our biggest expenses was eating out. And it blew my mind when we got down to see how much we spent, thousands and thousands of dollars over the year eating out. We've ditched Starbucks. Like we're making coffee at home now. There's really no outside entertainment. We find ways that, we're playing chess, like Priscilla said. I played chess all my life. Priscilla's like, hey, teach me.
And we have a whole lot of
a whole lot of hummus and pita chips.
We have a whole lot of hugs.
A lot of time spent talking. A lot of time spent planning.
How are you not getting any of my innuendos? I feel so alone right now.
Hugs, a lot of hugs.
I said we have a lot of hugs.
Hugs.
Just never mind.
I'm so confused. Is that a sexual innuendo? You're
trying to be.
A whole lot of hugs.
You guys, that's entertainment and hugs. It's cardio.
A lot of adult hugs.
We call it sport. We call it. Okay.
You were going to say sport fucking. Is what you were going to say.
It's cardio.
So
cardio.
There's other ways to go. I mean, not saying you guys have to do all these things, but there is ways to tighten things up. I mean, we don't have cable. We haven't had cable in 10 years, probably, something like that. I've always used Hulu, and Amazon actually gives you their streaming stuff for free when you're a Prime member. And so if you're buying stuff on Amazon, which we do because it's cheap and it gives you free shipping, we pay like $80 a year for that. You get their service for free. So it's like the little things that add up really quick. So we've tightened up. And so, look back on what I said earlier. What is the car that you're driving right now? If you can't afford to have the things that you want in your life, if you can't afford to go on those vacations that you want, or you want to go see the world, you got a business you want to start, but the expenses are too much, or you can't afford, or you think you can't afford to feed yourself to get fit, or you think you can't afford $19.99 a month to grab our all access pass. I mean, or a gym membership. Dude, I hear people bitch, I can't afford a gym membership. Or I can't afford the gas.
Ooh.
I'm like, what is the car that you're driving? What are the payments? Are you willing?
I know you're like locking into these notes real hard, but like this beautiful quote just came into my head. It's like, it's not about what you have. It's about what you're experiencing. What are you experiencing in your life? Are you hiding in the bathroom? Like, I was just remembering myself in high school. Are you hiding in the bathroom because you're mortified at who you are? Or are you in the center of the quad gathering a tribe because you're stoked about your life? What are you experiencing? That's where money should go.
Towards experiences.
Towards it, well, and towards the quality of life. It's not about like what you're driving. If you're ashamed to get out of the vehicle because you have rolls upon rolls like I did, what's the point in even driving a nice car? Wouldn't you rather feel better? Just a thought.
I guess it's just important to kind of prioritize it. But it is important to prioritize those things and ask yourself, are you willing to trade your car in for something that's cheaper? You know, are you driving a big truck, like a giant F-250 diesel, because it's what makes you feel good? It makes you feel significant when you drive it. Are you, should you be driving a Honda Civic? Or what about the guys out there that are driving Beamers?
Because if you're so solid inside, it doesn't matter what you drive.
You're driving a $40,000 to $50,000 car, like a 300 series Beamer that I see tons of guys driving, but they live in a small apartment.
But go crush it. We're not here to
Imagine the
judge.
money that you could be saving. Imagine the money. I'm not. So stop thinking I'm judging people.
No. I'm
like you're trying
I'm
to
just
cover
saying.
for what I'm saying, and I'm saying. Are you willing? I'm asking the question. Are you willing to sacrifice that? Because, I mean, you look at it, you're already living outside your means. Most of the people that are driving Beamers that live in a one-bedroom apartment really aren't prioritizing. And they're probably hard up for cash at certain points, and they're using credit cards. And these are the things that I get. And I'm not saying this is everybody.
Ooh, my skin's crawling. I feel like that's an overgeneralization. I feel like I want to agree with you, but I feel like that's a major overgeneralization.
Okay, well, we can always take
we
the
don't
outliers
know.
in any experiment. You can always look at the outliers. There's a statistical deviation in every single experiment. Everything that we talk about, there's a bell curve that basically like everybody hovers around this area. The general population is here. Of course, there's going to be fucking outliers.
Why do I have to be the girl that sees it completely different than you?
But in experiments, what happens? We ignore the outliers because we're talking about the general bell curve. And that's what I'm talking about right now is the general bell curve. I mean, this is real. Most people in America are living outside their means. Why do you think credit card companies are so powerful? Why do you think there's so much debt? We are slaves to debt. And what I'm getting at is that you don't have to be a slave to debt. All I'm trying to do is help you think about the options. I'm just trying to help you think about the options and just take a different perspective than you have. Maybe step outside your current living situation, your current body. Look at it from the 30,000-foot viewpoint and go, oh, do I really need this car? Do I need the $400 car payment, the $300, or should I be making a $120 car payment?
And
or should
is so hard to downgrade.
Or should you have just paid cash for something? Go ahead. Now, I stopped talking so you can talk now.
I'm good.
That's usually how civil conversation works. You don't like my Stevie Nicks back?
That's obnoxious.
Yeah, that was the point. Anyway, guys, let's move into how this all relates to fitness. You know, we've talked about kind of having a look at the things that you're doing in your life and maybe reprioritizing, but how does this relate to fitness? Well, I basically looked at these 3 myths that I see all the time about the cost of being fit. And the first one is it costs more to eat healthy than it does to eat fast food. How many times have you heard that, P?
Lots of times.
From everybody.
Yes, absolutely. So many times.
So many times, Nigel.
So many times. I hate you so much, Nigel.
All right, think about it this way, guys. There was a Bloomberg study that was done, and basically the cost of fast food has increased 54% in the last 10 years. So take, for example, you guys walk into McDonald's, you think you're buying like a couple of dollar hamburger. But what happens is you got all these...
What's happening is you're buying medical bills.
Pretty much.
And you are killing yourself with all them hormones and all that death up in there, and you're eating cows. Cows are not for eating. Cows are friends. Okay, your turn again.
They're for farting.
You don't fart on cows.
No, the cows do the farting.
That's rude.
The cows, the whole methane thing and the global warming. Never mind.
All right.
Anyway, so the point is that if you buy a number 3, it costs about $10.39.
What do you mean? You order a number 3? What the heck? That is gross. Why does that make me want to throw up? I've trained myself to throw up over these things. Not really literally throw up, but want to throw up.
Usually, if we're talking about a number 1 or number 2, you would question that. But what is wrong with a number 3 combo?
Eat a number 2?
Oh my
You
God.
go to McDonald's and you eat number 2? I am gross. I cannot even. Like, I have trained. Okay, I cannot even.
Why are
Nope.
these podcasts so long?
Nope.
Now you know.
Nope.
Because all I'm trying to do is make a point is that most people end up ordering the combo meal.
And you're talking about eating
And
number 1 or eating
You
number 2.
go in there thinking you're going to spend a couple bucks and you walk out spending $10 or $11 is the point. I mean, literally. So for everybody out there that actually still eats fast food, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing, guys. I'm just saying it's one of the things that we've eliminated from our life. I haven't had fast
Just
food.
stop, for the love of God. No, sorry. No, I'm not sorry. Ew, whoa, you eat number 2. You're eating number 2. I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry. I'm having a hard time with this. They literally ordered. They're like, "Oh, can I eat number 2, please?" Is this real? I'm so sorry. I'm so out of it.
The thing about podcasts
I haven't heard about
is that
this.
you can't
my
see
gosh.
the look on my face
Oh
right now.
my gosh! But is this real?
The utter frustration on my face right now.
You're eating.
We are
number
going
2.
when my task over the next 2 weeks is to reorganize the home office and create a nice podcast studio so that we can have video cameras in here, and so then you can see the utter frustration on my face in the future when I'm trying to get a point
Eat number
across.
2. You look at the frustration on my face when you're eating number 2. Look at the frustration on your face.
Well, let's ask a question to everybody
When you're
that
eating number
still
2.
eats fast food. When was the last time that you walked into Taco Bell and ordered a taco? Like a single taco, ordered like 69.99 cents, something like that. When was the last time you did that? Probably never. And so the point that we're trying to make here is that when you look at an in-home meal, if you go to the grocery store, it costs about $4 for you to make, is what it costs. And there's a Forbes article from 2018 that backs that up. So people say that, oh, it's too expensive, it's cheaper to eat fast food. Well, actually it's not, because you're going out there and you're spending 10, 12, whatever amount you're buying because you want the soda and the fries and the burger or the double burrito thing. I haven't been to Taco Bell in so long, I don't even know. But you're spending way more.
Can I just say something?
So imagine
please, I have something so inappropriate to say. I
then
have to say it
You've
immediately.
been interrupting me the whole time. What would stop you now?
That's fine. This number 2 business is really boring. So I saw this meme because I don't usually stay on social media, but I saw this like, you cannot eat Taco Bell and have sex in the same day. It's impossible.
Why?
You fill in the blank.
What? You mean you fill in the blank?
It gives you the turds. It was hilarious. I laughed so hard.
I don't know, because I'm going to talk about it in 10 years.
I know, but it gives you the turds. And
I wish Sean was here because we could ask him, because he's Taco Bell.
let's call him. Okay, you go on.
You can't call, dude. It's like 11 o'clock at night. You can't call him.
I'm going to call him immediately.
It's 10 o'clock at night.
No, I'm going to call him.
All right. Well, moving on. So that I was trying to make the point that to go out and purchase groceries and eat at home is actually cheaper than having fast food. So there's money to be saved there. Myth number 2: I need supplements and cannot afford them. That's one of the things you're actually calling Sean.
I want to ask if
He's not going to pick up the phone.
ask if
Make sure that you put the mic right against the.
that the
It's
mic?
got to be right there.
I'm going to ask if Taco Bell gives him the turds.
Yeah, he's not going to pick up.
We're just going to ask if Taco Bell gives him the turds. And ask if he orders number 2, if he eats number 2.
He's got that crazy Tech 9
Your
voice.
call has been forwarded to an automatic voice
Yeah,
message
you got
system.
voicemailed.
7
What?
You going to ask him on the phone?
9 5
You going to
Yeah.
leave a voicemail?
Should we?
3 7 1 is
Sure,
not
no.
available.
Okay.
At the tone,
But you got to let him know you're on the
please record
podcast.
your
Okay.
message.
Okay.
When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more
Okay,
options.
here it comes. Ready? Hi, Sean. This is Priscilla and Gabe. We're on the podcast, and we have a really important question for you. If you would call back immediately, we really appreciate it. Is that all?
You're not going to actually ask the question on the voicemail?
Okay, so we want to know if eating Taco Bell gives you the turds, and can you eat Taco Bell and have sex in the same day? Thank you. My number's 9. Oh, wait, I won't say my number right now. I almost said
Nobody
my number.
even knows numbers.
Woo!
Just hang
Okay.
up.
Bye, Sean.
All right, myth number 2: I need supplements and I can't afford them. Well, the first thing you need to understand is that there is no magic pill, and you don't actually need supplements to make a physical change. The key that everybody's missing is its nutrition. People think that they can eat like shit or eat what they call healthy, I'm using my finger quotes right here, eat healthy, and then take a bunch of sups and it's going to change their life. It's going to change the way they look. It doesn't. It absolutely does not. Do they help? Some of them, yes, absolutely. Are they necessary? No. Again, the key is nutrition, and we've proven that time and time and time again with every single one of our programs. What are you smirking at?
I was just thinking about how awesome it's going to be when he gets his voicemail. And we get the solution and the answer, and we're going to know.
So we've proved it
right
time and
Body
time
Spartan
again with every one of our programs that you do not need supplements. We always say you don't need them. If you want them and you want to use them, you're going to have an edge and advantage. Will you get there quicker if you use the supplements we recommend? Absolutely. But you don't need them. They're not a necessity. So you could just take that and you can just throw that out the window. You don't need supplements. Okay, third myth, and this is one we're going to spend the most time on. I can't afford a gym membership or a program. Yes, you can. And this is all about the priorities we discussed earlier. What decisions are you making with your current budget? And we're going to give you guys some tips so that you can afford a gym membership if you don't have one, or you can afford a program to get fit. And again, you don't have to use one of our programs. I don't really care. As long as you go out there and find something that works for you and you're changing your life, that's what we really care about. So eating out. Priscilla and I talked about eating out. Like, we just stopped doing it.
Not entirely.
For the most part. I mean, when was the last time we ate out? It's been weeks.
It's been a really long time.
And the last time we ate out, it was for our anniversary, and it's because we got gift money. So, what? You're making gestures at your crotch. I don't understand what's going on. Is there something wrong with my pants?
No.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on. So we talked about the cost of going to fast food, but let's look at eating out. The average American eats. I can't even tonight with you. What is so fucking funny?
I don't know.
What is so funny?
When you say eat out.
Oh, that's why you're gesturing at your crotch. I get it.
Why are you being filthy?
No, because you're like doing the thing where like you're shoving your hand like, you know, a guy would do with a girl's head. And I'm like, oh, I understand what's going on now. Okay. You can't just randomly laugh and then not tell the audience what's happening. You got to paint the picture for them.
You paint the picture.
I might later on. And there's the masturbation. Thank you very much. That's the hand gesture for masturbation.
That's
so
not happening. You're imagining it.
Yeah, whatever. All right, let's look at this really quick.
I am a lady.
If you guys really want to get to the nitty gritty, the average American eats out an average of 4.2 commercially prepared meals per week. So that is a little over 18 meals in an average month eaten outside of the home.
I'm fine.
Eaten outside of the home. Eaten out.
It's not funny.
Eaten.
That's not funny.
Okay,
let's move on to Starbucks. I'm
no, we can't. I need to cover this shit. This is really. I designed this for a reason.
They're bored.
You know why they're bored? Because I can't make a point without you interrupting me. Eating out. Inside the house. What I'm trying to say is that, on average, Americans spend $232 a month eating meals prepared outside the home. If you think that I'm kidding, I'm challenging you to journal. Challenge you to pull out a notepad on your iPhone right now, or your Android. If you, I don't know how fucking Androids work. I'm sure you got a notepad there, or your laptop. I prefer it to be on your phone, and I want you to title it "Eating Out Journal." You're gonna title this "Eating Out Journal."
Everything counts.
And this is just for food.
Do not eat out and not write it down. We're serious, you guys. We want you to post this on your Facebook page. These are the times that I've been eating out.
It's really important that you post on your Facebook page when you eat out. When you've been eating out.
We're fired.
I want you to create a journal, and I want you to do it right now. And every time you eat outside the house, I want you to write it down. I want you to write down how much you spend, and I want you to do this for a week. And if you're one of those people that only eats out once a week, cue Priscilla laughter.
I couldn't hold it back.
Then I want you to do it for a month. And I want you to understand exactly how much money you are spending by not preparing your meals at home and bringing them with you, aka meal prep is what we talk about so many times. If you were to simply prepare all your meals at home, you'd move a little more than 4 meals, if you're the average American, from a restaurant to your home. And I'm talking about going to Jack in the Box. I'm talking about McDonald's. I'm talking about that little sushi spot you have when you go to lunch with your friends.
When you're eating number 2.
When you're eating number 2. Jesus Christ. Oh, my God. So
I'm never allowed to podcast
the average
ever again.
cost of a meal is $12.75. That's the average cost of a meal. And it's sometimes it's hard to believe, but that's the case. You will save $8.75 for every meal that you move to preparing at home. And this is based on national averages. So, in other words, if you're an average American, you would save $36, almost $37 per person per week by moving all of those meals for a little more than 4 meals a week from restaurants to home prepared meals. $36, $37 per week. That's a gym membership. That's a fucking gym membership anywhere. So simple. It's because we want the convenience of eating out. We want the significance of feeling good. We're too lazy to prepare. And I'm using the word lazy because we have been trained to be fucking lazy. That's the deal.
We should tell them the story about what happened on date night. I mean, not the whole story.
Wait, are we talking about, which date night?
But Gabe's like, oh, it's our date night. Let's go out. And let's just like go and get food. And I'm like, well, why don't we just make food right now and then we'll get something small when we're out? And he's like, well, let's just go out. I'm really, really hungry right now. And while he's talking about it, I'm preparing a gorgeous meal, like super fast, like rapidly. And then he goes outside to like, just like have a little breather. And I'm like, dinner's ready in 5 minutes, faster than it could be ordered and served to the table, way faster. Dinner was ready. And then when we decided to actually go out for something tiny, he wasn't as hungry and we had already figured out some other thing to do. So, I don't know. Maybe there's another way to eat out. I don't know why I needed to add that last one. Probably because you're flipping through your notes trying to think of what you can cut out because these notes are so long and they're fun.
So along the lines of people saying that I can't afford a gym membership or a program and how to save money, one of the things that I always tell people is to buy your food in bulk. And we do a lot of Costco runs. And it made a lot of sense when we had 2 refrigerators. Not everybody has 2 refrigerators.
Our refrigerator died, you guys.
Yeah, it went to
It's like I can't
hell.
even do Tuft anymore. And it just died. And we're like,
our
back.
second refrigerator.
Please don't go. And we cried. And there was like the violin music playing in the background. And we thought about doing a proper burial in the yard. But instead we hauled it out to the yard. And we're like, take it away, Junk King. Because Junk King is like pretty much like Jesus Christ. And also like Merry Maids. And I miss them. But Junk King is really cool because they take all your garbage that you don't want anymore, and they took our refrigerator.
All that shit that's on the side. Actually, they didn't take our refrigerator, did they?
They took.
I pushed it to the curb, and some other company picked it up for free.
Oh.
Yeah. But that's neither here nor there. When I talk about buying your food in bulk, like, go get a Costco membership and buy what you can fit in your fridge. And yes, it's going to cost you more. What else? There's Costco, there's Sam's Club. That's another one, right?
I feel like Sam's Club might be Walmart.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Whatever.
We don't
bulk.
have Sam's Club here in California, so we don't know. But we do have Costco, and we love them like life.
Well, and the idea here is that you are...
And also farmers markets are good.
You have your annual membership fee that you pay, and if you can't afford that, go find a couple buddies to split it with. And it goes under somebody's name. You got an agreement that anybody can borrow the card at any time.
Is
then
that
you go
lawful?
Does it fucking matter?
I feel like we shouldn't advise people to break the law if it's not lawful.
My blood pressure is seriously rising right now.
I can feel it and see
I'm
it.
just like, I just want to finish this podcast for these people.
It's not looking good, guys.
I just want to talk to them. I just want to talk to them. I just want to shoot them. I just want to shoot them.
Why do you guys love us so much? Okay.
You know what we should do is we should have a thing on every podcast. So for every Family Guy reference that we make, whenever somebody comments about it in the post,
A shot. No, we tried that before. Never again.
No, and they can figure out what episode the innuendo, or not the innuendo, but the whatever you call it, the Family Guy inside joke is from, and they post it. We should just give them like, a hat or a shirt or something like that.
Oh, that's so cute. Yes.
I just want to talk to him, Meg. I just want to talk to him. I just want to talk to him. I just want to shoot him.
What is that from?
Well, the point is when you
said
buy
Meg, you give it away.
when you buy your food in bulk, you are saving money because it costs less per ounce, per pound, per gram, whatever. You're going to spend a little more up front when you go through that checkout line, but it's going to last you a lot longer than those, once or twice a week shopping runs that you will make to like Safeway or Vons or Publix or whatever else, whatever your local grocery store is. And the thing that you do, you buy, like I'll buy a ton of ground beef and I will get my food scale out and I'll get these little tiny sandwich bags out and I will separate them and I'll just have, what was it make? Probably 10, 12 bags of ground beef that are all separated and macroed out perfectly for me. And I'll put a bunch of them in the freezer and I'll put a couple of them in the fridge. And then as I go through them, I pull the ones out of the freezer out and I let them defrost. Same thing with like the rice that you buy, the pasta if you're doing carbs. If you're not, you can get tons of almond butter for cheaper, peanut butter cheaper if you're doing keto, that kind of stuff. All your fats are there. When you buy in bulk, you save a ton of money. Okay, P, you're up. Starbucks. You really want to talk about Starbucks.
About the little green mermaid that could. It really adds up. I feel like that was one of our number one expenses in 2017 because we lived there.
Yeah.
But we would do all of our meetings. We're like, board meeting Starbucks.
Well, let's
Thirsty
look at that.
Starbucks.
How many?
Tired Starbucks.
We would probably do Starbucks. We would do Starbucks twice a week probably on average.
I think more than that.
And so I used to go get a grande mocha. You would get a sugar-free vanilla latte, grande, and then I'd get some sort of snack or something.
And then Mia's like, what you guys mean, please? Oh my gosh, I'm dying. I need Starbucks.
So she could get kids. We would walk out of there spending $16 or $17 every time we'd go.
That's about right.
And that was a couple times a week.
All the time.
And if it was just...
Now multiply that times 3, so that's a week. And then multiply that times 4. Like, that adds up, guys.
Well, really quick. And
like, when you look at a year, oh my gosh.
Well, look at it this way. And you got to look at the average prices across the states. And this is some stats from back in 2017. So the prices have gone up. So a grande drink daily is about $4.10, give or take. So that's almost $1,500 annually. And then it's like $7,300 over 5 years. So a venti is like $4.43 daily. And this is basic stuff. I'm not talking about like super foo-foo drinks. I've seen people spend like $7 on a single drink. It's insane. But, the average venti is like $4.43. So that's $1,500, almost $600 annually. So look at it this way. If you were to go get a grande like I was, and you did that once a week, 4 weeks in a month, that's $16.40. And let's say you're going to Starbucks twice a week. You just double that. It's almost $33.
It's addictive, we know.
$33. There's your gym membership right there. If you were to cut out Starbucks and make your coffee at home and put it in a fucking thermos or in a to-go mug, you have the money to have a gym membership. Or you have the money to invest in a program.
Does it have to be an effing thermos?
I think that's what I said.
Okay. Just take note, guys.
The idea is that there is a way, and it's how bad do you want it? How bad do you want to make a change? Are you willing to give up Starbucks? Because we did. That's just the way it is.
It was uncomfortable.
It was. Other things, gas station food. Like every time you go to the gas station, somebody picks up a Monster or a Rockstar. Those are about $2 a pop. So if you're doing that 3 to 5 days a week, you're swinging by the gas station, because you're hungry or whatever. There's $20 to $40 a month.
You have to get a protein cookie and water every time you leave the house.
The Lenny and Larry's, man.
Lenny and Larry's at pretty much every gas station ever. Do you need that?
$3 a pop.
Do you have to get your trail mix? Do you have to get a Pop-Tart?
Your Aquafina.
Crying out
Are you
loud.
just calling me out for all the road food I buy when I go to like Buttonwillow and Thunder Hill?
I was just generally stating some things.
Are you just letting everybody know that I like to buy Pop-Tarts as road food?
I'm just saying, go to Safeway or like Costco, even better, and get a gigantic thing of water, or fill up your effing thermos, like Gabe said, since we're talking about effing thermoses.
Or your shaker cup with water at home.
Or your Body Spartan shaker cup. Do we still sell those?
We have a couple left. I'm just not big on them. I want to change brands. So that's the reason I've been waiting.
But they're sexy.
They are.
I show up like everyone's got their mom cups, their mom mugs, and I come with my Body Spartan ones. I stick my tongue out at people and point it at them. I'm like, "Huh." And then they all show up with it the next week because that's what soccer moms do. Cool moms. They all have. No, my kid doesn't play soccer, but I pretend.
Other things you guys can do to save money and find money. Basically, it's about finding money that's already there and just readjusting your priorities. Remember that, guys. There's random subscriptions out there. So, iTunes subscriptions that you forgot that you had. Like I've got a ton that we just found. And all you got to do is open up your phone, go to your settings, go to the iTunes App Store, and then when you tap on your Apple ID at the top, it'll show you all your subscriptions. You just got to scroll down and find your subscriptions. I bet there's tons that you guys have forgotten about. If not, if there's one or two, that's still one or two that you were paying on that you didn't need.
May I please speak?
Yeah.
I was just thinking about like all of these like little expenses because you're like, oh, it's no big deal. I'm just going to Starbucks one time, but then maybe you do it 3 times a week and then it adds up and you look at it throughout the year. What if you spent that money or that energy on something that would really progress you forward? Something that would change your body, something that would change your life. And that at the end of the year, the compound effect of that would have a profound effect in your life. Then what? Ooh, that just got me really excited. What would you do every day that would make a profound impact in the course of your life, the course of your future?
I would probably pack a lunch and eat out. Side.
Eating out is a really good investment, folks. Like you want a better life, you want a better marriage. Happy wife, happy life. Eat out. Can you believe I'm being so derogatory? Who am I?
You're not being derogatory. You're just, this is the first time you've been this open on the podcast.
You know what?
Anyway, the last thing I want to give you guys is there are apps. So we're looking at ways to find money that's leaking, that you're bleeding out, so that you can afford to get in shape. You can afford to buy supplements if you want them. You can afford to get a program if you need it, or you can afford a gym membership. Because yes, you can afford to get fit, and yes, you can afford to be in shape. There are apps out there right now, and it's kind of the big thing that you'll see if you're scrolling through the feed on Facebook or Instagram, that basically go and they hunt down ACH subscriptions. So it's all these little subscriptions that you have. So every subscription you're paying for, if it's like Hulu, Netflix, whatever, all these little Spotify, whatever. One of them I found that I tried, which was pretty good, was called Truebill. And basically you just hook up your bank accounts to it and it goes and finds every transaction that is a subscription and it tells you. And when you look at that, you're like, holy shit, I'm paying for all these things I don't remember. I thought I canceled or I forgot I had this. And you're going to find $10 here or $8 there or $14 here and there. When you add it all up, you might have $30, $40, $50 a month in shit that you didn't even know that you were paying for. That, my friends, is how you find money. You just made a paper airplane, you're going to throw that shit. It doesn't have any wings. You just folded paper in half. You literally just folded paper in half, gave it a nose, and didn't give it any wings, and you threw it at me. That's not a paper airplane, Priscilla.
That's the best I could do with one hand.
That's just not a paper airplane. I don't know you.
You know what?
I don't even know
anybody
you.
Who's on.
I'm ashamed of you.
Anybody who wants to see an amazing airplane, you can check it out on Snapchat right now.
Just throwing paper airplane.
He just offended my paper airplane, but I forgive
all right.
you.
Here's what I'm going to leave you guys with, is that you can afford to get fit, and you have to look at what you're willing to sacrifice, what you're willing to change. You can look at your current living situation and ask yourself, do I need all this shit that I have right now? Am I just trying to fucking impress people on social media? Do I really need this car? Do I really need this 2-bedroom apartment? Do I need all this fucking stuff? Do I need my cable TV subscription with 400 channels? Do I need the HBO package? Probably not. The majority of people listening can probably downsize. And I guarantee you'll be much happier when finances are not dragging you down every single month. And when you're living within your means and you can afford your gym membership and you can afford the program that's going to help you get fit. When you change your physique, you're going to be more confident. Your life's going to change. You're going to be emotionally stable. You're going to look in the mirror and you're going to love what you see. And it's going to open doors for you. What are you doing? I'm in the middle of this really deep.
I'm holding space for you.
Anyway, guys and girls, the point is, you can do this. There's money to be had. There's money that you can find. And if you want to try a program and you don't have any money right now, you feel like you just are tapped out, go get the free trial of the All Access Pass. It's 14 days. In those 14 days, you can try every single one of our programs, any program you want. It's not going to cost you a dime. While you're doing that, get your shit in order. Go find those subscriptions that are helping or that are bleeding you out. Look at your eating out, journal for a week, and decide, holy shit, you know what? Eating out. Journal for a week. Every time you eat out. Even at a restaurant. Or at the movie theater. Or when you take it into your car.
Stop. I beat myself.
Journal every time you go to a restaurant and eat food. Look at where your money's going in that time. And this is how you make a big change, is that you force yourself into a situation that you're uncomfortable with. You go, okay, I'm signing up for this 14-day fucking free trial. And in that time, I'm going to do exactly what Gabe said. And I got a time limit. I got 14 days to figure out how I'm going to pay for this. I'm going to get a gym membership. I'm going to get this all access pass, and I'm going to pay for everything. I'm going to figure this out. There's money out there, guys. Remember, it's okay to not impress people that we do not fucking know. Stop trying to impress people you do not fucking know. Get your priorities straight. Because once that happens, you're going to have an extraordinary life. And on that note, we will see you guys next week. Anything before I shut this down? Eating out.
For more free information on fitness, nutrition, and bodybuilding, visit us at www.bodyspartan.com.
Indestructible, undeniable. I'm a man with a plan, understand.